On the night of November 14, 1942, the Japanese battleship Kirishima steamed toward Guadalcanal as part of Admiral Nobutake Kondo's bombardment group. Their mission was to break through Iron Bottom Sound, bombard Henderson Field, and weaken the American grip on the island. Kirishima, originally built as a battlecruiser before World War I, had been rebuilt and modernized into a fast battleship, carrying 8 14-inch guns, heavy secondary batteries, and enough speed to operate with Japan's carrier forces. She had already served through some of the most important Japanese operations of the Pacific, from the early attacks across Southeast Asia to the carrier battles that followed. But Guadalcanal had become a graveyard for warships, and Kirishima would soon be added to the list. Japanese scouts and lookouts had reported an American column near Savo Island, describing it as 2 cruisers and 4 destroyers. To Kondo, this sounded like a fight his bombardment group could win, especially with Kirishima at the center. But the report wasn't fully correct. The 4 destroyers, USS Walk, USS Preston, USS Benham, and USS Gwyn, were real, but the 2 cruisers were actually the battleships USS Washington and USS South Dakota, 2 of the newest and most powerful warships in the U.S. Navy. Just after midnight on November 15th, the battle began. Washington detected the Japanese formation by radar, and the American battleships soon opened fire. Off Savo Island, flashes lit the horizon as both sides tried to identify targets in the darkness. The first part of the battle was disastrous for the American destroyers, as Japanese cruisers and destroyers struck hard with gunfire and torpedoes. Walk was hit and quickly sank, Preston was destroyed, Benham was fatally damaged, and Gwyn was badly mauled. In minutes, the American battleships had lost their screen. Then South Dakota ran into trouble. Electrical failures impaired her ability to fight and communicate, and in the darkness, she moved into a dangerous position, becoming visible to the Japanese line. Caught by searchlights, she suddenly became the target Japanese gunners could see. Kirishima opened fire, joined by the cruisers Takeo and Atago and other Japanese warships. Shells slammed into South Dakota's superstructure, tearing through steel and starting fires across the ship. Dozens of men were killed or wounded. But while South Dakota drew Japanese fire, Washington lurked unseen. Using radar, Washington tracked Kirishima through the darkness. Admiral Willis Lee and Captain Glenn Davis brought the ship into position, and at about 1 a.m., from roughly 8,400 yards, Washington opened fire with her 16-inch guns. Kirishima was still focused on South Dakota when Washington's first salvos roared in. Heavy shells straddled the Japanese battleship almost immediately. Then the hits began. 16-inch shells tore into Kirishima, smashing through her hull, damaging her steering, and wrecking important spaces. Washington's 5-inch guns added more punishment, hitting Kirishima's upper works and superstructure. Kirishima tried to return fire, but Washington had already delivered the decisive blows. The ship Kirishima hadn't seen was now tearing her apart at close range. The exact number of hits remains debated. Wartime reports credited Washington with roughly 8 or 9 16-inch hits, while later wreck and damage studies suggest the number may have been higher. Regardless of the final count, the battleship had been devastated. Kirishima didn't sink immediately. Her engines still produced power, and she tried to move away from the battle, but steering damage made control almost impossible. Her crew attempted to maneuver with the engines, but the battleship would not properly answer. As fires spread, flooding worsened, and magazines had to be flooded to prevent further disaster. Her list shifted as water poured through the damaged ship. Japanese destroyers came alongside to remove survivors, as Captain Sanji Iwabuchi and his crew fought to save their ship, but the damage was too great. Whether finished by flooding, scuttling, or both, the battleship was doomed. Kirishima capsized and sank off Guadalcanal at about 3:25 a.m., taking more than 200 of her crew with her, while the rest were rescued by Japanese destroyers in the dark waters of Iron Bottom Sound. The loss of Kirishima marked one of the few battleship-on-battleship surface victories of World War II. It also helped end Japan's major attempts to bombard Henderson Field with battleships. Guadalcanal remained in American hands, as the balance of the war shifted further against Japan.